Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're anywhere near business strategy, you definitely know that annual pain point, sales forecasting.
Oh, yeah. It's tough.
Exactly. Getting those predictions right drives, well, pretty much everything. Procurement, staffing, big investments.
Yeah.
But the old ways, static spreadsheets, crunching numbers by hand, waiting for quarterly reports.
They just don't cut it anymore, do they? Markets move too fast.
Right. Those methods are slow, often way off, and based on historical data,
Yeah.
that might be totally irrelevant by next week.
And that's the core issue, isn't it? That inability to react. The old forecasting methods kind of treated the market like it was predictable, stable.
Like up to pendulum, yeah.
When it's really more like chaos.
Yes.
Noisy, full of sudden shifts, things you don't expect. But our sources today are pretty clear. The tech to handle this is here now. And it's really changing how sales teams think and plan.
And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're exploring how these AI copilots, as the sources call them, are ushering in, well, a totally new era for sales predictions. More precise, more interactive.
Yeah, this isn't just like a minor software update. It's a fundamental shift.
So the big takeaway right up front.
AI is making sales forecasts smarter, way more dynamic, and, maybe most importantly for you listening, just much more actionable than any static report ever could be. It's moving forecasting from looking backward to, like, guiding you forward constantly.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
AI copilots.
Mm-hmm.
How are they really different from, say, a complex Excel model or even some of the older statistical software finance teams have used for years? What's the secret sauce here?
It really comes down to two things. Seamless connection and, well, better algorithms.
Yeah.
Traditional models, you often have to pull data out manually, clean it up, upload it.
Which takes time and introduces errors, right?
Exactly. Lag time, human error. AI copilots, though, they're built to live right where the sales data happens. They integrate directly, continuously.
But hold on. Lots of things connect via APIs now. What makes this real-time integration so different, so revolutionary?
It's the way the data flows continuously, and in both directions. Our sources talk about architectures like the Microsoft Connected Partner Framework, or MCP.
MCP.
Think of MCP less like a one-time data dump through an API, and more like a permanent open pipeline.
Always on.
Always on. Every transaction, every CRM update, any change in the pipeline, it gets pulled into the model instantly.
Ah, so no more stale data. You're always training the model on the very latest information.
Precisely. No data decay. You're using now data, not yesterday's summary.
Okay, that covers the speed of getting the data in. But just having faster data doesn't automatically mean a better prediction, does it? What's happening computationally? What's the intelligence being applied?
Right, that's the other piece, algorithmic sophistication.
Yeah.
And the sources keep bringing up frameworks like Profit. It's specifically for time series analysis. That's kind of the brain of the Copilot.
Profit. Okay, so how does that differ from older statistical models?
Well, traditional models often assume things are, linear, simple trends, up or down. But if you throw in major volatility, like a pandemic or a huge sudden Black Friday spike,
The old models get confused.
totally confused. They see that spike as an error, an outlier, and it can mess up the whole forecast.
So the traditional model basically throws up its hands when things get messy.
Pretty much. Profit, on the other hand, is engineered specifically to handle that noise. It breaks down the time series data into, like, three core parts: the overall trend, the seasonal patterns, and then holidays or special events.
So if your sales always jump in December,
Profit sees that. It doesn't flag it as some weird anomaly. It recognizes it as a repeating seasonal thing and builds that expectation into the next forecast. It makes the model much more robust, more resilient to, well, the real world.
I see the power now. So you have this continuous data stream from things like MCP,
Right.
feeding into an intelligent framework like Profit, which can actually understand and predict patterns even when there's a lot of external chaos.
Exactly. And the result, the outcome is a predictive model that's constantly adapting, constantly updating.
So it reflects reality now, not reality from 3 weeks ago when someone finally ran the report.
You got it. Continuously updated models reflecting what's happening on the ground.
Okay, that transition from how it works to the actual impact is critical then. Let's talk about the benefits users are actually seeing. Because the numbers in the sources, they tell a pretty compelling story.
Yeah, they do. The first one, and honestly the most critical for any business, is just a big jump in accuracy. The sources are quantifying this. They're seeing AI models improve forecast accuracy by 20 to 30%.
Wow. 20 to 30%. Let's just pause on that for a second. It's not just, a nice to have. If you're a manufacturer, 30% better demand prediction. That means way less buffer stock.
Huge savings on holding costs, frees up capital.
Or if you're a SaaS company, that could mean staffing your customer success team correctly for the growth you actually expect instead of guessing wrong.
That's exactly it. Think about a big company buying millions in raw materials each quarter. If they usually operate with, say, a 15% error margin, and suddenly you boost accuracy by 30%, their procurement gets incredibly precise.
Hits the bottom line directly. Improve cash flow.
Big time.
Okay, that's accuracy. Super compelling. But even the world's most accurate forecast isn't much good if it takes your team 3 weeks to generate it. What about speed?
Speed is the second massive win because all that data gathering and modeling is automated thanks to things like MCP and profit. The time spent on manual analysis just plummets.
How much are we talking?
The sources say up to 40% reduction in the time it takes for the whole analysis and reporting cycle.
40%. So you can shift your team from just cleaning data and building reports to actually thinking strategically and acting on the insights.
Right. But beyond just internal efficiency, think about what that speed means competitively.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Imagine your main competitor makes a big move, drops prices aggressively, or launches something new. If your forecast takes a week to update,
you're already behind. A week behind.
Exactly. 7 critical days lost. With an AI Copilot, that market shift gets reflected almost instantly. Leadership can see the potential impact and figure out a countermove, adjust pricing, reallocate resources in hours, maybe a day, not weeks.
That is a real competitive edge.
Yeah.
Responsiveness.
Definitely.
But the speed and accuracy are huge.
Yeah.
But the third benefit you mentioned, interactivity. You said that might be the most transformative for the person actually using it day to day. The Copilot idea. How does that work?
It works through tight integration with modern business intelligence tools, BI tools. The AI provides the smarts, the predictions, but tools like, say, Tableau provide the interface.
Okay, so it's not just spitting out a static PDF report.
No way. It's a dynamic dashboard. Live.
So what does the user actually see and do on that dashboard that they couldn't do with an old spreadsheet?
They get immediate visual feedback. Instead of waiting days for a data scientist to run a new query, a sales manager can just, use a drag and drop interface. They can instantly filter the forecast, show me predicted growth just for the West region, or just for product line B, or even drill down to see how an individual rep's pipeline impacts the forecast.
And this lets them run those crucial what-if scenarios on the fly, right?
Exactly. That's the core of the Copilot idea. The manager can literally ask the system, okay, what if we boost marketing spend by 10% out west? How does the model adjust the Q3 sales prediction?
And they see the result immediately.
Immediately. They tweak the variable, hit enter, and the predictive curve right there on the screen adjusts. It basically democratizes that sophisticated analysis. Sales teams can proactively test ideas and refine strategy themselves without waiting in line for the analytics team.
That kind of instant collaborative modeling, yeah, that's a huge leap. Okay, and the last benefit you touched on, scalability.
Yeah.
You talked about big companies getting that 30% accuracy boost. Is this tech realistic for, a growing startup?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the sort of quiet revolutions of cloud-based AI. It scales inherently because the architecture underneath, using things like Profit, is designed for big, growing data sets.
Doesn't matter if you're small or huge.
Exactly. These AI copilots scale up or down easily. So that predictive power isn't just for the giants. Small startups can leverage the same kind of strategic planning tools as their massive competitors.
It really does level the playing field, information-wise. Okay, so we've got the mechanics, the key benefits, accuracy, speed, interactivity, scalability. Let's zoom out a bit. What does this shift mean for the industry overall? Is this still kind of experimental, or is it mainstreaming?
Oh, it's far from experimental now.
Yeah.
This is rapidly becoming the new standard, the new baseline. The sources had a really telling statistic.
Yeah.
65% of companies that are already using these AI-powered forecasting tools reported tangible improvements in their decision-making and better sales strategies overall.
65%.
Yeah.
Okay, when 2/3 of the adopters are seeing strategic wins, you know it's moved way past the pilot phase.
Definitely. It confirms this whole trend towards integrated BI, powered by AI, is fundamentally changing how whole industries plan and execute their sales efforts.
Moving strategy from being reactive to being proactive,
Hmm.
preemptive even.
And it creates this kind of positive feedback loop, right? The forecasts get more accurate, which leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better results, which then feeds richer, better data back into the AI model.
Making it even smarter next time.
Exactly. It keeps refining itself.
So what's next then? Where does this go? Right now, AI copilots seem focused on mastering internal data sales logs, performance history, pipeline stuff. What's the future vision, according to the material? How do predictions get even sharper?
The next big leap seems to be weaving in external data streams, dynamic data from outside the company.
Like what?
Well, think beyond just your own transaction logs. The sources talk about future systems incorporating things like real-time IoT data from connected devices, giving super granular insight into how products are actually being used.
Okay, yeah, usage patterns.
And also integrating broad external market trends, things like macroeconomic indicators, shifts in consumer sentiment, maybe pulled from social media, competitor actions, all happening in real time.
Wow, that's fascinating. So the system wouldn't just know what your sales team did last week. It would know what the entire market is thinking and doing right now.
Pretty much. Moving towards truly holistic predictions. And obviously, businesses that get there first, the ones leveraging these super integrated dynamic forecasting dashboards, they're positioning themselves with a huge competitive advantage.
Because they can see shifts coming and adapt almost instantly.
Right. They become way more resilient, way more adaptable than competitors stuck looking at static old data.
That ability to adapt fast, backed by that 20–30% accuracy boost we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the definition of strategic advantage today. Okay, so to quickly recap our deep dive, AI copilots are truly revolutionizing sales strategy. They deliver much better accuracy, incredible speed, real interactivity through user-friendly dashboards like Tableau, and they scale for businesses of all sizes.
It really does feel like the death knell for that old static quarterly report.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the final thought we wanted to leave you with today, kind of building on where this is all heading according to the sources.
Okay.
If tools like the Profit Framework, fed by real-time data, are already getting so good at handling complex seasonality and market noise, and the very next step is integrating these massive external data streams, IoT, market trends, everything, then we really have to ask ourselves, what common critical business decision, think about things like sizing regional inventory levels or how you allocate marketing budget across different channels. What decision that currently relies heavily on maybe a senior leader's gut instinct or on slow, manually compiled reports is most likely to be completely automated and optimized by these constantly learning real-time predictive systems in the near future? It's worth thinking about. What part of your own decision-making process might soon be handled better and faster by the machine?